tracking the possibility of strong and severe thunderstorms in this springtime setup. The details are just ahead.
We just want to be able to keep his legacy alive, and creating this foundation is kind of our way to give back.
The wife of a fallen Richmond police officer talks exclusively to WKYT about how she plans to honor her husband.
After months of debate, Governor Bevin says it's time to change Kentucky's marriage license form. We'll have reaction.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. We are just a few days from Christmas, but it feels like spring across the bluegrass, and tomorrow we could have some spring-like thunderstorms.
As some of the storms could be strong or even severe tomorrow. So we begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He's tracking the storm threat for tomorrow. Chris?
Yeah, especially second half of the afternoon into the evening hours. We'll watch a line of showers and storms racing in from the west. You mentioned this springtime setup. We've got it out there now. Southerly winds coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, wide open for business. It's going to feel humid over the next few days. You were noticing that increase in humidity out there today. Big area of low pressure to the west. Spring ahead of this, wintertime behind it. You get those two to meet up, and chances are across the Mississippi Valley, parts of the Ohio Valley, including Kentucky, we have the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms during this time. That area of low pressure will continue to work its way toward the western Great Lakes. By Wednesday evening, that'll be our best chance for a strong thunderstorm or two, and maybe some local severe weather with that. With or without any thunderstorm action, winds tomorrow evening will likely gust 40 miles per hour, if not a little better, and those rain totals could be a little on the hefty side. Defender Radar Network right now across Kentucky has nothing going on. Let's hit the fast forward button on your future radar. Notice late tonight and early tomorrow morning, a couple of little bands of showers and thunderstorms will try to work on in to central and eastern Kentucky. That'll set the stage again for the possibility of some severe weather tomorrow evening. We'll break down that threat in full detail when I come back in a few minutes, guys. Brand new hour-by-hour forecast in. We'll share that with you in about 10 minutes.
She wants to make sure that her husband's legacy lives on for years to come. Tonight, the wife of a fallen Richmond police officer is talking exclusively to WKYT about a foundation in his honor.
Officer Daniel Ellis died last month after being shot in the line of duty. In March, a 5K run walk will be held in Richmond to raise money for the foundation his wife Katie is starting. Garrett Weimer has the top story exclusive.
He dedicated his life to giving back, sworn to protect and serve the city of Richmond.
My husband served for the Richmond Police Department, and I know that if he was still here today, he would continue to serve this community.
In the days after Officer Daniel Ellis died, Katie Ellis says the outpouring of love and support has amazed her. Now she wants to keep it going for others.
I feel like I have 10 million friends and so much support, and I want him to be remembered, and I want to be able to just continue to do good.
Now in the works, a foundation in her late husband's name. The initial funding's expected to come from a memorial 5K race in March.
We want to bring the community together. We want Richmond to come together and the surrounding area. We want runners and walkers to come out and enjoy a day of celebrating the life and legacy of Daniel Ellis.
Katie Ellis told me she hopes the race and the foundation can keep her husband's legacy of service alive.
You know, I hope that we can help people and continue to do good, whether it be, you know, medical bills, scholarships, someone else who lost a loved one. Just really want Richmond to continue to put others first.
Race registration is now open, and bib 457 already taken, reserved in memory of the man who wore that number on his badge. In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And that day will certainly be special. The race is scheduled for Saturday, March 19th. You can find a link to register on WKYT.com and the WKYT News app. Just click on this story. Now to a developing story that we're tracking out of northern Kentucky tonight. Police in Kenton County say both an officer and a suspect have been shot in a parking lot. It happened about 7:30 tonight outside a store in Ludlow. Police say a Ludlow police officer pulled over someone, then exchanged gunfire with them. Police say the suspect later died and the officer is stable at a hospital.
New tonight, we're tracking the investigation into a man's death in Harrison County. The Harrison County coroner says the man's body was found tonight in some water off River Road in Cynthiana. So far, the coroner says investigators have not been able to identify the man. Investigators also are not sure how he ended up in the water. It grabbed worldwide attention earlier this year. Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples because of her religious beliefs. She took issue with her name being put on the licenses. But Governor Matt Bevin says he doesn't want that to be an issue anymore. So today he issued an executive order removing the county clerk's name from Kentucky marriage licenses. Our Monique Blair joins us from the live desk with reaction to that. Monique?
Well, Sam, supporters of the order Governor Bevin filed today are saying that now everyone is treated fairly, but his opponents disagree.
What a wonderful Christmas present to the state of Kentucky.
Back in July, Casey County Clerk Casey Davis defied the Supreme Court's ruling and refused to issue marriage licenses. He didn't go to jail because he didn't face a federal lawsuit, like fellow county clerk Kim Davis.
The issue with me was never to be unfair with anyone. The issue to me was, as much as anything, was to be fair to everyone.
But now Casey Davis hopes that a lawsuit is never a possibility now that Governor Bevin has issued an order that will remove county clerks' names from marriage license forms.
I think Kim Davis would have never gone to jail should Mr. Bashir have acted in the same manner, and he could have done it.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Kentucky represents the plaintiffs who sued Kim Davis. They released a statement Tuesday in reference to the order, saying in part, quote, "The requirement that the county clerk's name appear on marriage licenses is prescribed by Kentucky law and is not subject to unilateral change by the governor, conceded by the previous administration in court filings." The Liberty Counsel represents Kim Davis. Senior litigation counsel Roger Ganem told me he wasn't surprised to hear some people are criticizing Governor Bevin's order.
Any objection or critique of this order isn't based on the availability of marriage licenses. It's not based on being treated equally. It's based solely on not being able to handle that some people disagree with same-sex marriage.
Now, House Speaker Greg Stumbo released a statement today saying he agreed with Governor Bevin's order. He says it's a simple fix, and he applauds the governor for finding a way to balance the law and the concerns that county clerks had. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Governor Bevin also issued some other executive orders today, as we mentioned there. One of them suspends former Governor Steve Bashir's order that reinstated convicted felons' rights to vote. Governor Bevin says he supports the measure but feels it should go through the legislature first. Another executive order put a freeze on hiring for all state government positions until the governor says he can analyze if open positions need to be filled. And another executive order suspends a planned minimum wage increase for state workers.
A convicted killer has been released from prison years early, and the victim's wife says she's furious. Mike Reeder was serving a 10-year sentence for manslaughter for the 2011 shooting death of Jimmy Music outside a Lexington gas station. But Reeder was released from prison yesterday after receiving credit for good behavior and keeping a prison job. Music's wife says the release came as a surprise.
Well, I was heartbroken and felt like someone had just knocked the wind out of me, and it was I had to take a few minutes to just process what had happened, because it just was so not right.
Reeder served about 4.5 years of his sentence. As part of his release, he'll have to follow all general conditions of supervision. A Franklin County man faces many charges tonight after sheriff's deputies say he led them on a high-speed chase. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says a deputy was checking out a burglary report when he spotted the suspect's car nearby. The deputy tried to stop the car, but investigators say the driver, 20-year-old Joshua Padone, kept going. Police tried to use spike strips, but it didn't work. Eventually, police say Padone jumped out of the car in Anderson County and ran off, but was soon arrested. He's been charged with burglary, fleeing or evading, wanton endangerment, and DUI.
New tonight, members of a London church are making sure homeless veterans have a way to stay warm this winter when it turns cold. Members of Souls Harbor Church made blankets for those veterans and handed them out this afternoon at St. James Place in Lexington. Organizers of this project say they want to make sure homeless veterans are not forgotten during the holidays.
And especially at Christmas time, it breaks our hearts to hear that there are homeless veterans, especially in Kentucky. So we just wanted to bring a little cheer to them.
The church also handed out food, apple cider, and new towels to veterans tonight.
Some thieves are targeting an organization that helps many people in the bluegrass during the holiday season.
Overnight, leaders of the Salvation Army in Frankfort say someone broke into their building, likely looking for money from the Red Kettle campaign. The burglar couldn't find that money, but did steal some petty cash and gift cards. It's the third time this month someone has stolen from the Frankfort Salvation Army.
1st of December, we had somebody come on to one of our bell ringers and switch their kettles. Actually, they stole the kettle from a bell ringer.
The Salvation Army says that person was impersonating a Salvation Army worker at Walmart. Something similar happened at a Frankfort Kroger last week.
An accident on a Kentucky bridge has killed a state transportation worker. It happened this morning along Highway 31 East in Allen County. Police say a trailer attached to a vehicle came loose and hit an oncoming truck. The truck then spun out of control and hit 2 workers doing maintenance on the bridge. Police say one of the workers, 34-year-old Titus Morris, was killed. The other worker suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says it's the agency's first work-related death in 4 years. New tonight, a grand jury has indicted a man police say they shot after he led them on a high-speed chase in Anderson County. John Tompkins is still in a hospital under state police guard. Last month, police say he led them on a chase before his truck crashed into another truck on Ballard Road. Police say Tompkins then pointed a gun at them, so they shot him. He's facing a dozen charges, including attempted murder, assault, and wanton endangerment.
New tonight, a Cincinnati Bengals player claims he was the victim of racial profiling in a northern Kentucky store. Running back James Wilder says he went to the Florence Toys R Us for some Christmas shopping, but he says a manager accused him of stealing, then called the police. Wilder posted this video on social media.
Sitting here in Toys R Us, trying to shop for my family, and the manager comes up to me and tells me that I was here earlier. I just got here 2 minutes ago. He says I was here earlier, and I tried to walk out with a full cart of toys.
Wilder says he was kicked out of the store. Police did not file any charges. A supervisor at the store had no comment, but a Toys R Us corporate spokesperson said the company is looking into the matter.
Tonight, hundreds of children in Montgomery County received toys for Christmas thanks to some generous people. The Arms of Love organization gave out the toys tonight at TK Gymnastics in Mount Sterling. This is the 11th year of the toy giveaway. Tonight, organizers expected to help between 600 and 700 children.
And they all get 3 used toys, 3 stuffed animals, as many books as they want, and 2 new toys.
Many of the toys come from a toy drive the Montgomery County Detention Center holds every year. Fundraisers are also held for Arms of Love. A lot of toys there.
Yeah, look packed.